based on the popular novel series by Michael Connelly. We're just 4 days away from the explosive third season, and joining us now to discuss is the man behind the badge of LAPD Detective Harry Bosch, actor Titus Welliver. Good morning, Titus.
Good morning.
I'm so excited. My husband and I have seen every episode of the show. We're big fans.
Thank you.
Yes, you're so welcome. Congrats on a third season. Let's talk about the character of Detective Bosch. He's such an interesting guy. He's a good cop. We're rooting for him, but he kind of makes his own rules as well. Would you consider him like an anti-hero of sorts?
Very much an anti-hero, which I think, for me, makes him much more interesting to play because he's really, there's great depth. He's a really multifaceted and very human character. And so I think that's one of the things that makes him very accessible to the audience because they recognize these qualities in him. He's a sort of a taciturn guy. He's not necessarily a social person, doesn't subscribe to the societal norms of politeness, doesn't come into a room and want to win the day and be liked, and yet he's a guy who cares, and that makes him interesting.
He does care. He seems to have his own moral center, which I find very interesting. Titus, it's not unusual for me to talk to an actor whose story is based on a novel, you know, whether it be a film or a TV show. You have kind of an interesting situation with Michael Connelly, though, because he's actually on set with you, right?
Yes, he is. Very much so. So having him there is invaluable. If there's any kind of questions or if I have an idea that might not be something that's, you know, necessarily specifically taken from the book, having him there is really, truly invaluable. Can bounce things off of him, and he'll let you know, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Wow, it's so cool. And I know he's convinced, too, that the whole series should really center around your character, which is part of what draws me in so much. I know that in this season, your daughter will come to live with you. Previously, your daughter and your ex-wife lived in Vegas. I'm talking to you from Las Vegas.
Yes.
Curious if you folks came here to shoot at all.
We did. In the first 2 seasons, we did. We were there for a couple of days in the first season, and then the second season, we had a fairly big set piece that was in Las Vegas. Harry's ex-wife and daughter were kidnapped by some nefarious crime-type guys, and so Harry had to get them back and enlisted the aid of his partner, and they sort of went off the reservation in Las Vegas, and that was a lot of fun. We had a great time shooting there, and the city warmly welcomed us and gave us great accessibility. So, you know, that's one of the things is that Los Angeles is really, you know, sort of the central character of Bosch. And so to be able to go and shoot in Vegas and not try to cheat it on a backstage someplace was great because we really utilized Vegas and shot it.
Oh, well, we were glad to have you. That's cool. And speaking of Los Angeles, I have to mention that extraordinary house that your character lives in the scene in the Hollywood Hills. My goodness, how exciting is it to shoot? It's like a glass box hanging over the mountains.
It is. I mean, it's a beautiful house. You know, we have a large crew. It's a tiny house. I mean, that's the great misconception is that it's a sprawling house. Sort of the house in itself is that sort of container front, but it's a great place to shoot. It's just very difficult to get to the location.
Wow.
We have to sort of bus ourselves in because it's up in the hills with these sort of anthill, teeny tiny roads to get there. But shooting there is incredible.
Titus, it's really been exciting for me.
You can't fake that with a backdrop.
No, you can't. No, that's the real deal. It's very, it adds to the beauty of the series. I might add you have an excellent opening song, too. It's so dramatic. I love it.
Well chosen, and it does, and it's people will tweet out about that sometimes that they've got it as a ringtone or something like that.
For sure. Well, so I'll be tuning in this Friday, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Watch all of the new season of Bosch premiering this Friday on Amazon Prime Video. Seasons 1 and 2 are also available if you want to start from the beginning. It's a tremendous series. Amazon is a proud sponsor of The Morning Blend.